Okay, well, it's time we talk about the Joker. Now, since I'm the living embodiment of Heath Ledger's Joker madness and philosophy, I think it's time for me to look at some of the different varieties of Joker and one of the most unpraised versions of the Mad Prince ever, the Mad Clown himself. But you know what? It has to be said right off the bat, Joker from The Dark Knight is, of course, my favorite. Heath Ledger is a fucking absolute master of greatness. And there's several other iterations of Joker as well, including the absolutely incredibly cringe Jared Leto one, which was so very obvious a Jared Leto just saying, "I'm gonna be the Joker, look at me, I'm so cool." And how could we, of course, forget one of the most mind boggling iterations of Joker yet? An absolutely insane man from Gotham City who just becomes suddenly the insane master of crime. In the first 2019 breakout hit Joker, making $1 billion at the box office and being an absolute gem of a movie that will hold out for a long, long time, forever basically, because it's just a wicked, concealed story of a man over the edge, gone to insanity to do insane things, and it's a very graphic, very grounded, extremely dark tale that very most people can agree didn't need a sequel. But it did get a sequel as Joker Full Deluxe came out, and what was initially shown to show quite a bit of promise ended up being an absolute fucking disaster. And my theory is that they literally said, "Hey, look, we don't like the idolization that people are making with this Joker character. Here's $60 million towards your movie. You can keep the rest for profit. Just make him seem like an absolute idiot." And they lured us in with the trailer and they fucking abolished the character, making it so that he just becomes a whimpering fucking bitch who dies in jail. And you know, it so felt intentional. There was no artistic merit to what Todd Phillips did. It was totally funded and promoted by some type of group that said, "We don't like this incel culture, break it down, break the character down, and destroy it all." And as I had previously mentioned, the absolute fucking gem of a performance from Heath Ledger, one that he made shortly before he died, very, very, very tragically, because just imagine what we could have gotten if we had gotten three more movies of this character. I know he kind of dies at the end, but I mean, you can make up anything you fucking want. I mean, come on, just come up with a reason. You know, maybe AI can bring him back to life. Maybe I wouldn't doubt it, but Ledger himself is just so legendary in this role. It really cannot be topped, and it cannot be said that this is the best Joker there ever was and probably ever will be. But there's an even more twisted version of the Joker that's actually insane, made a very long time ago from a very special person that needs to be mentioned more nowadays. Now, this movie was made back when I was just a very wee creature indeed, and that makes it so much more iconic because it's a historical fucking film. And man, what an amazing character. And Michael Keaton is not bad himself, but the bizarre makeup effects and the very old aesthetic of this movie that really is jarring in today's viewing, it really brings it to light how this is a very historical performance from Jack Nicholson. And hey, Nicholson's getting up there. He's an absolute legend, but I mean, we need to do credit where credit is due here. The older Batman movies, I almost kind of feel like they're made of toys. Now, I had all the toys from these movies when I was a kid, and I fucking loved Batman. But you know what? This Joker, there's just something off about Nicholson's performance. It's so bizarre. And it's actually a pretty decent viewing, but I mean, him as an iconic character, this Prince of Crime, is pretty awesome. You know, he's got his troupe. He's one of the most successful of the Jokers. And you know, like it just feels like he's more on top than most of the other ones. It's awesome to see Jack Nicholson in this performance, as he is just such a wicked person and such a wicked actor. This one is the bizarro Joker for sure. He is so weird in both concept and execution. So I mean, I guess in a way, there's more like gadgetry and um, marketability for toys in the older school Batman things, because I remember it being so many toys and shit of this. But its weird, bizarro Joker just really takes the cake. What's weird about this iteration of Joker is he feels the most killery of them all. I mean, a lot of the Jokers were menacing, horrible, but this one just feels like he's this absolute horrific character who just is gonna do all these heinous, horrible things. I guess Arthur Fleck, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, kind of takes on a persona that does feel that way, but I mean, he has a good nature about him that people truly like seem to like, and you know, you really voted for Joaquin to win, so that makes it all so much more punishing the way that they fucking sculpted this character. And I guess that the other Joker, Nicholson's Joker, just kind of dies in the end, and they just leave it at that. But it's just so weird how he's just dispatched at the end of the movie, and Bruce Wayne gets the girl, saves the day, everything's good, and he's just left with a smile dead in the concrete. It's very off-putting and kind of macabre, to say the least. It's a very short, very macabre adventure and a stellar, groundbreaking performance for Jackson. I mean, it is a movie that is just really weird, just for weird reasons. I mean, he is so sinister for some reason. Nicholson just feels evil in this movie. And the role of him and his goons is just like, look at all the makeup he has on and stuff, and the way his smile is artificially made. It's a twisted version of the Joker. Yeah, and it just can't be stated how close to the top this Joker iteration is. I mean, he's just fucking wicked in this. And it's almost like, how could we get more of this Joker? How could we see more Nicholson's Joker? It's hard to say. Do we make an animated movie? Do you make it out of AI? Do you do it with something good? How do you use Jack Nicholson make Joker? You know, it's these kinds of questions that make movies great. How can we get more of these characters that we loved? And how about that scene where he just fries that guy? This scene gave me fucking nightmares as a kid when the guy gets roasted. I legitimately was horrified of this scene when I watched it. And the way Nicholson is just dancing and prancing around as this guy is just frying to death is fucking awesome and epic. I legitimately was scared shitless of this scene. And watching it now as an adult and seeing Nicholson and loving all the Jokers that we knew along the way really makes this performance stand out. And Jack Nicholson is a fucking legend. And that scene when he's throwing all the cash to the Gotham residents is so legendary because he's so twisted and his motivations are so evil. It just like goes to show that people will do anything for money. And it's a really like harrowing scene and a commentary on our culture. If an evil person was throwing out money in the streets, people would probably rush to grab it. I mean, that is a fucking true statement. And a very iconic moment in movie history because, yeah, it's just the way he is and the way he conducts himself and the way he turns people into a bunch of rabid animals for money in the streets like that just shows you that this is kind of the way people are. And, you know, it's a wicked scene and it's a good movie too. Now, I could go on and on and on about my favorite Joker, but I would place Nicholson's Joker up there big time because he's just so sinister, so gangster, and so fucking cool that all the rabbles of Gotham and the iconography really looks great. So we'll likely never see Nicholson's Joker again. So we got this short little concealed movie that's a fairly nostalgic watch, especially for people who had the toys growing up. But man, Nicholson's Joker, I saw a picture of him the other day. Just terrifying with that smile. And I love it. I think he's fucking amazing. And of course, I'll always put Heath Ledger at number one, but you know what? To compete with this level of acting, Nicholson back in the 80s, late 80s, did something special and will remain a legendary Joker from time to come. So that's Hollywood, baby. Jack Nicholson's Joker may be brought to life with AI, but for now, this is all you got, Timmons. Give me that piece and blast off again.